earlier this week, communities across New Jersey gathered to honor the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through reflection and remembrance and action. In South Orange and Maplewood, two phenomenal communities, by the way, beautiful places. The work is led by the South Orange and Maplewood Community Coalition on Race, a nationally recognized grassroots nonprofit. The coalition is approaching its 30th anniversary, says a lot. And joining us this morning are Nancy Gagnier. Is it Gagnier? I will ask her. Gagnier, or do people probably say Gagner?
They
Executive
say
Director of
all
the
kinds
Community
of things.
Coalition. It's
Gagnier.
Gagnier, though,
Yes.
right? Gagnier. I have
Gagnier,
a
yes.
cousin who spells without the I, but pronounces it Gagnier as well. But he always gets Gagner everywhere he goes. Executive Director of the Community Coalition on Race, and Anita Gundanna, Chair of the Coalition's board, to talk about what comes next for the community. Good morning, Nancy and Anita. Great to have you on today.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
You bet. I hope you're warm. It is cold. It is so cold today. First of all,
it is
I mean,
cold here.
yes, indeed. I don't live too far from you. So I know where Maplewood is very well. When I worked at Channel 7, actually several of our staffers lived in Maplewood, and we had a producer from South Orange. Beautiful communities, just gorgeous. What is the mission? Explain the mission of the organization for folks who don't understand. For 30 years, you've been around helping a lot of good people. So what is the mission of the organization?
So the mission is to establish a stable, racially integrated, inclusive community that's committed to racial equity. And it was started 30 years ago by a diverse group of citizens. After some demographic change, they wanted to make a positive impact based on that demographic change and serve all residents and be an attractive community to all people.
Mm-hmm. And it's really the thing for those who don't realize about that area, Maplewood, South Orange, you're not far from Newark. You're surrounded, actually, Maplewood is right. It's sort of surrounded by Newark. So you have the big urban dense center. And Maplewood used to be kind of this little 1 mile enclave of very upscale homes. But what you have in the last few decades, you have a migration of people who've moved up the economic ladder, socioeconomic ladder, coming into South Orange, and they've done beautiful things. You go into South Orange, it is a diverse community today. I remember 30 years ago, I'm old enough. And today, South Orange is a different place, and in a very good way. So why has this annual MLK event become such a lasting tradition for the communities and so important for the communities?
Well, we actually consider a lot of our neighboring towns as our neighbors. We welcome them in Maplewood and South Orange, and we really aspire to, and this event actually is a show of unity, a real show of remembering that we thrive with diversity, with equity, inclusion, and belonging. And so it really is about coming together, and it's a showcase of our towns and our welcoming nature towards our neighbors as well. We are both welcoming communities, and we really strive to continue that way.
Yes, and in fact, you kind of stand out as making a statement, which is so wonderful to see. And I know, like I said, I know people who live in both those communities, and it's a wonderful and refreshing thing to see. Now, this year's theme was "Do Not Erase Our History." How does that connect with Dr. King's vision of the beloved community?
We were
really important
fortunate
for
to
us.
have.
Go ahead.
Sorry, why don't we? I'm sorry, Anita. Why don't we? We'll go over to Nancy for a sec.
We were fortunate to have Professor Khalil Gibran Muhammad from Princeton University speak to us. It's important specifically because of the work that we do and all that we're facing in communities that are working to be integrated, working to serve all people in an equitable way, that the attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion in communities like ours, in our schools, in our civic participation, in many aspects of community life, are under threat. And he served to remind us that that threat was started nearly 50 years ago, but manifesting more deeply in ways that we are all experiencing today, and that we have to stand up for what we believe in.
And Nancy, the attendees they were invited to view the exhibit Slavery in New Jersey, A Troubled History. Why is our local history so important to be taught, especially younger people?
Yeah, many of us went through school not understanding some of the history of slavery in our own state, the last state to fully abolish slavery. Uh, we think of ourselves as Northerners, that it was a Southern thing. And this exhibit serves to show that that is not the case, and that we
Yeah,
have our own legacy that we have to deal with here.
absolutely. And Anita, we have about a minute left. We want to hear about the Luminary Lighting Project.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for all of us in our towns to really light up and show that we are a loving, beloved community. So it was such a success, hundreds and hundreds of lights this year in front of houses, in our park, with our Maplewood, with our South Orange Conservancy partnership. And it really is a chance to show with for children, for families, to show that we are all one and in a spirit of love, and creating a beloved and welcoming community.
Love it. What is a website for more information about your wonderful group?
Communitycoalitiononrace.org.
Wonderful. Nancy Gagnier, Executive Director of the South Orange and Maplewood Community Coalition on Race, and Anita Gundanna, Chair of the Coalition's board. Thank you both for coming on this morning, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much, Ken.